In this video, I'll go over the features of the drag and drop page builder. The first thing I want to show you, which I consider the very most important thing in the entire system, is this backup and restore. So you always want to make sure that you back up your latest good page. So when you preview the page, you click this eyeball here to preview the page, and if everything looks good, make sure that you back it up. Just click that backup icon in the middle, and that will back up your page so that if anything ever goes wrong, all you have to do is just click this icon next to it, which looks like a little database. You click that to restore your backup. So make sure you're always backing up your pages as you work on things. That way you don't deal with a huge headache if something gets messed up, because things can happen. If you accidentally do something like drag something like that and you forget to undo it, even sometimes if you undo it, you see it's still messed up. So that's why we have the restore feature. So you can just restore your last backup and you're right back to how it was before. It's just going to refresh one more time to save everything again. So these other things here, you see this preloader icon here. The reason I have this is I used to often import templates into this, and it had preloaders in those templates, and the preloaders would not disappear so I could see the rest of the content inside the page builder. So I have this icon here. So if you ever install a template or something into this and you see a spinner preloader, you can click this icon to hide that preloader. This next option here is to change the drag mode. So you notice by default, if you take something to drag it, it's going to give you this line and show you where to drop it to. If you change the drag mode, it's not going to give you a line like that. Instead, it's just going to let you move everything just ever so slightly, inch by inch, wherever you want to move it to. I don't really recommend ever using that feature myself, but it is available if you want to use it. This other option here is to disable the style, and I hardly ever use this myself either, especially after AI. And in AI generated pages, it's not even going to work anyway. If you do have a template that you've installed or a page you've cloned from somewhere else and you want to use this feature, you can. All that does is just make it easier to get to things if they're under different layers. And so that just makes it so you can disable the style for a quick way to edit the text. Another option, select something like this, and then you can click on this code icon as well, and you can just change the text right there too. And then click Apply HTML Changes. The plus icon that you see right here next to the database icon, what that's going to do is create custom content blocks. So if you click that plus, you'll see that it's generated a date right here. And you can go to templates and styling and then go to custom content blocks. And right there, you're going to see that same date. And if you want to change the name of that so that you know exactly what it is, you just open that up and you just change the name. You can also change the source code of that if you want to here, but you can rename that and then go all the way to the bottom. It's going to be long if you have a lot of source code, and then click Save Changes. And now if you refresh the page builder and go back to your custom content, you're going to see it has the same name that you just renamed that there. And then you can drag that on wherever you want it. Obviously, if I had the entire page like I do here, I wouldn't want to drag that on, but it could be a particular section on a page, and that way you always have that to drag on anywhere you want it. So for the minus icon just to the right of that, if you click that, you can also rename it right there. Makes it easier. Just click Update, or you can delete it from the page builder. Next thing is the Google Fonts. This icon is just for Google Fonts. You click on that and you can add a font name right here and a URL for the font right there. You can also get to that if you go to Templates and Styling and Page Builder Fonts. You can also add new fonts right there. So this just gives you an option to do things faster inside the page builder. Next icon is the append head content. So if you want to individually write meta tags and things like that for each of your pages, or put in tracking code or anything instead of using the universal content, then you can do that here for each page. And then the next icon here is little JS icon. If you click that, that's going to be so you can append JavaScripts at the end of the page. Maybe you don't want those in the page builder. You just want those appended to the end of the actual page. You can use it for that. Now this icon to the right of the JS icon, the little plus icon here, is for universal content. So whatever content you currently have on the page, what I recommend doing if you wanted something like a universal header is just delete everything except for the header part, and then click that plus icon, and over here where it says universal section, you're going to see that. So you can actually open this inside its own editor. So you just go to universal content and then go to universal sections. You're going to see that right there, and you can open the editor. And this way you can change the links or anything else you want to change anytime. And anywhere you have this universal section on any of your other pages, it will update with the changes that you've made. So this is really good if you want universal headers or universal footers or any other kind of universal section you want on multiple different pages. So the next icon here just hides the components from the page. So it just gets rid of all the lines that show you everything that's inside of those particular components. The next icon makes it full screen, and you can press escape to exit out of full screen. Another thing you can do to make your screen bigger, this arrow icon, the arrow left, and that will get rid of that. And so then you have a full screen view to go in and make all your edits. And then of course we've got the undo and redo. And then this icon here is an import feature. So if you want to get in here, you can change anything in the source code, and then you can click on import to update it, or you could even take source code from one of your other pages and replace the entire source code from that page and click import. And then this garbage icon, that just clears everything out of the page.